This happened a few years back when my friends and I had just finished our sophomore year of college, finally done with school for a few months. We wanted to celebrate a little bit to start off summer break. All of us had small jobs near the campus, so we saved up some money. We decided to go big and take a trip to Las Vegas for a few days. As none of us have ever been, at first we were looking through hotels in the city to try and find something cheap, but still big enough for the four of us. Eventually we gave up on that and started looking at Airbnbs, as most of them were cheaper and bigger. We found a few good ones, but ended up choosing the largest one with the most rooms. Fast forward to a couple weeks later, our Uber picked us up from the airport and dropped us off at the house. It honestly looked even bigger in person, and we were all really excited to spend the next few days here. We all unpacked and relaxed for a couple of hours as we were a little bit worn out from the flight a few hours after the sun went down. Me and my friend Alyssa were the only ones still awake. It wasn't too late, probably 8 or 8:30, but the other two had decided to go to bed early with nothing really to do. Alyssa offered to take a walk outside and explore the neighborhood a little bit. I agreed, eager to see the unique homes. I should mention, our Airbnb was a pretty nice house, and the neighboring homes were really nice too. This definitely wasn't a sketchy street or anything, so we didn't even really think twice about going for a walk around. We headed outside and down the street. After passing 6 or 7 houses, the street took a sharp turn and connected to another crossing road with homes on the side. It was strange though, as these homes were nothing like the ones we just walked by on our street. These were basically run-down shacks, and I don't mean to be rude or anything, it was just really strange to see such a sudden change in homes. After only turning the corner, we continued on a little bit, noticing the broken windows, missing mailboxes, and even worn-out vacant signs on a lot of the doors. One of the houses even had a sofa chair right in the middle of their front yard with rips and stains on it. We agreed to take the next turn towards our Airbnb and head back. For a couple minutes later, we saw a small SUV coming towards us from down the road with its headlights off. As I got closer, it began to slow down and eventually stopped right next to us. An older woman, probably 50 to 60 years old, rolled down the window and with a big smile said, "You two are such a cute couple." She was making really weird jerky motions with her head in her arms and was just acting really strange. I replied thank you as to just end the conversation quickly and get her to leave. Luckily it worked. She continued down the road and we did as well in the opposite direction. After a few minutes we found the next turn and got back to the street with our Airbnb. We were both really shook and creeped out by the whole situation and just wanted to get inside and forget about it. But just as we got to the driveway, we saw the old lady's SUV turn down our road and start heading towards us again. We were halfway up the driveway when she stopped right in front of the house, but this time it was a little different. She just looked at us. She didn't say anything or have any emotion in her face. She was just staring. Alyssa hurried inside and I quickly followed. I heard the car continue back down the road as I was closing the door behind us. We stayed up for a little bit longer, locking all the doors and checking the windows to make sure she didn't come back. After an hour, we agreed that we were probably okay, so we went to our rooms and got ready for bed the next day. We told our other friends what had happened, and they were pretty creeped out too. We ended up telling the owner of the Airbnb about the whole situation, and we even asked if we could cancel our third day so we could leave early, and thankfully he agreed. Or the rest of that day we decided to get away from the house and hang out in the city to try and enjoy at least one of our days in Vegas. We actually ended up having a lot of fun. But as the night came closing in, we were ready to call an Uber and head back to the house. During the ride back, I received a text from the owner that said, "Is this the lady from last night?" with a picture attached. I opened it and saw a screenshot from the Ring doorbell footage of the lady standing outside of the house. I replied to the owner and immediately showed all of the driver to drop us off at a hotel parking lot just a couple blocks from our house while the owner called the police. After about 45 minutes, the owner called me and said the house was clear and we could go back, but he mentioned the police never found the lady. This obviously made none of us feel any better. We got to the house and pretty much immediately started packing all of our stuff so we could leave right away in the morning. Nothing happened overnight or the next morning, but I can say for sure that none of us got good sleep. We got out of there as soon as we could and headed for the airport. This was definitely one of the strangest things to ever happen to me, and I still think about it a lot. The only advice I can give is to always check the area around your Airbnb before you book it. I have no idea what she wanted or why she was stalking us, but it really freaks me out to think about what would have happened if the owner didn't have a doorbell camera, or if we had stayed that third day.